21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
In the world that I live in, which the segments are law, business, international relations, there aren't 10 people better than me at what I do. So my name is Brandon Williams. I'm a lawyer, an entrepreneur, a business executive, a global media presence. I work in entertainment. I work in corporate. I work in business deals all around the globe. I've been practicing law for over 20 plus years. I run a law firm called Law Corp LLC. It's where business, law, and entertainment meet. I do global deals all over the world, whether in Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and then I support and have built and helped build businesses all over the world for multiple clients. Everything starts small. Learn to build. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. Find people that care and that believe in you along the way. It isn't about money. It isn't about your experience. If you have a passion for what you do, everyone will come around to support. And just understand that there are going to be tough days. There are going to be bad days. But it's called stick-to-itiveness, persistence. That is what comes with growing a business. It doesn't matter how small your business is when you start. If you have that fight, that persistence, that ability to withstand whatever comes your way, you will be successful. I've been representing businesses for 20 plus years. My only goal and job has always been to help entrepreneurs build their businesses. I built a business at a law firm within the law firm. Solely, all of my clients were only clients of mine. I didn't have firm clients. I built them from scratch. We built it together. I learned about their families, their friends, everything. I was their outside general counsel. And what I learned from that was just as integral as the CEO and the CFO and the COO were to the business, I, as the lawyer who sat on all boards, all meetings, all sides, was just as integral a piece to helping build those businesses throughout the years. Over the years, I've represented, Fortune 10 companies. I've represented the founders of Home Depot. I've represented entertainers who are global citizens that everyone would know firsthand. And I've done deals and matters in the billions. And that comes from, whether it's an M&A matter, whether it's a litigation matter, whether it's just representing a company as they continue to grow, they take on financing. I've done billions and billions of dollars worth of business in the last 25 years. One of the greater stories that I've had, as I said, I was a corporate lawyer for many years. I left to go run one of my clients' businesses, and they're in the media space, entertainment space. They're a global icon. You've seen them on television a million times. And one day I get a phone call from this particular entertainer. They call me and they say, B, that's what, he calls me B. And he says, I want to do television in Africa. Well, and then he basically says, bye. He hangs up. Now, mind you, at that point in time, I had never been to Africa, didn't have any contacts in Africa. So this is in 2018. So I went through this journey, finding people in Africa, learning how to do a television series and a television program in Africa. And 6 months later, we had shot what ended up becoming the #1 television show in Johannesburg in South Africa, and the number one television show in Accra, Ghana. So we had gone from a phone call where someone said, "Hey, Brandon, I want to shoot television in Africa," to finding every mechanism, every manner, how to get it funded, how to find sponsors, how to get to a network and a distributor. Found all that within a 6 month period. And within that 6 month and 1 day, not only had we shot the program in Africa, we had actually were on television in South Africa, which, is a feat in and of itself. But again, this is what I would call from an experiential standpoint is just something about not giving up, having persistence. There were tough days. There were days when it didn't look like it would happen, but we found a way to get to the other side. And the biggest glory was not only was it dealt with business, it dealt with my legal skills, it dealt with just having judgment that I've been representing businesses for so long, just having the ability to maneuver and figure out just how to get things done. And ultimately, again, it was the number one show in two different countries. So that was just a testament to what I believe in and how I've seen things work. What started was a phone call to me. I wanted to do television in Africa. It then led for me to make a phone call to a friend in that I had in Dubai, who ran a media company, and they were over, North Africa and the Middle East. We had a 30-minute phone call. I kind of explained to her what I wanted to do. That led me to take a trip to Dubai, where I sat with her over a 3 hour period. We walked through every sort of iteration of how it would work. Had to find a broadcaster slash a network in order to shoot it, and where it would be placed. Had to determine whether it's going to be a commission model or an ad based model. Found sponsors, and then had to find like a producer in order to do it. So I ended up connecting with a producer in South Africa who had done all of the major sort of spin-off shows, Idol and Who Wants to Dance and all these big programs. Flew to South Africa to meet with them. And then we had another session of like walking through, but it was just building this all from scratch. So I learned how to make a television show. We shot 26 episodes. And again, it was the number one show in the country in Johannesburg and the number one country, no, number one show in the country in Ghana. Everyone told us it couldn't be done. Everyone told me there's no way you can pull this off in 6 months. Not only did we pull it off, but it was the number one show in both South Africa and Ghana. And that came from a phone call and from scratch. Had never been to the continent, had never been to the country, and I've probably been there 25 times in the last 5 to 6 years based off of that. I was at a big corporate law firm, Austin and Bird here in Atlanta, Georgia, and had been there for 15 years. I was one of the youngest partners that they'd ever made at the firm. And one of my clients, I got kind of into this media business, was representing, entertainers and sports people, but mostly because of their business deals. I wasn't an entertainment lawyer. And I'd gotten a referral to represent Steve Harvey. And I started off, very small, working on different matters for him and doing different things. And then that business just grew, right? Like, and it just started to grow and grow and grow. And after about 2 or 3 years, I got a phone call from him on a Saturday, and essentially asked me to come work for him. That was a big shift for me, or even consideration, because I'd never really thought about being in house or working for someone outside of my legal practice. And I basically told him, I was like, I do work for you, right? And he's like, no, I don't think you understand. Like, no, I want you to leave your practice, come work for me. That was a tough decision for me because, I had built this business at my firm, and I had clients, and, these clients were my friends, and these clients were family to me. And so all this was like very like a different and unique path for me in order to try. So I ended up, after consultation with my wife and, talking to other people and thinking about it, I decided that I was going to make the journey, make the trip. And that was really when my entrepreneurial journey really took off, because it was almost as if I was working for a startup, notwithstanding this was a unbelievable, supernova of an entertainer. But the business side, everything was kind of new and fresh, but we built it, and we've built a very substantial and, solidified business. Going to work for, and run the Steve Harvey business has just been invaluable. Learning about brand building, marketing, globalization. We've been all over the world, built businesses in the Middle East, built businesses in Africa. And I think just it allowed me to, all the things that you believe that you are and are going to be when you work for an organization or you work inside of an organization, and then actually going out in the world and being able to do it, right? And to develop new opportunities, to go to different continents and build businesses. It's a confidence in that has, bled over and led over for me being able to understand about growing a business, building a business, maintaining a business, and then growing it even further, even further than you've ever thought you could. So that process has just been remarkable in the sense of being in that organization, seeing how a brand works, and then helping enhance it in the ways that I could from my experience, working for businesses and helping build other businesses, and bringing some of that experience to that it's just been amazing. My substantial experience has been helping businesses from a legal perspective, protecting them from formation, from growth, from raising capital, from just being able to understand what it takes to build a business. I've done all those things. I've done it for dozens and dozens of clients. And so that is where my expertise lies. It lies in building, it lies in starting, forming, being along for the entire journey of a business, going from a startup to multi-million dollar businesses, and then all of the things that come with that. So what I would always tell people is, like, I'm an outside general counsel. So whatever it is that you have, whatever comes up, whatever you need in your business, my legal expertise kind of runs the gamut. It might be a lease, it might be an HR matter. So I've got experience in all of those. If it's capital formation, you need capital, you're raising capital, whether it's fund to work. If you want to start a fund and you want to raise capital and pool it together in order to build businesses or build projects, I've done all those things. So what I would say is I've just seen so much. And the breadth is where my real value is in terms of helping entrepreneurs, helping businesses that are even more solidly founded on that front. But, I've seen everything. There's very little that I have not seen in the business sector from a legal perspective. And then even just from a business perspective, worked in the C-suite, work with people. I understand what CEOs need. I understand what CFOs need, because I've been on the inside and I've been on the outside. And so I think all of that experience brings the vastness of which I can bring to a relationship. Listen, I am always available. Like, I mentor a ton. I speak to youth, I speak to colleges, I speak to companies. I'm always about spreading knowledge, spreading information. I am not a gatekeeper. I want to see people thrive. I want to see people become successful. And that doesn't always mean just in some, for-profit capacity. I speak to foundations. I provide information. I get on Zooms all the time. I am about disseminating information. I want to see us win. I want to see people strive to get better. And if I can have a little hand in that, a little effort in terms from me, I am always open to do that. Again, you can reach me at my email. It's Brandon, Brandon, @ lawcorp, LAWCORP, LLC.com. I am reachable. I would love to speak to your organization if that's youth, if that's, older people that are getting back into the workplace. If you want to start a business, if you want to sell a business, I am here to help, and I would love to speak more about it.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Piskarik, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.